So welcome everybody back to the channel. So first thing I gotta shout out is Go Racebox. That's the official tuner for the Q60. Thank you for coming out to NYC. I think it's like the third or fourth time he came to NYC to tune cars, and I'm glad that I can actually that they fit me in as one of the last cars to be tuned. So I'm super appreciate it, and shout out to Boost Fiend and everybody that's part of the Go Racebox team that definitely helped out your boy Boost to get this car tuned. But anyways, let's take a look at the dyno sheet. Alright guys, so this is my dyno sheet, guys. Take a look. If you guys want to see other dyno sheets that are very similar, go to Go Racebox Instagram below, and there's different pages because he have other similar dyno sheets of other cars with similar modifications. And also shout out to Chameleon Tuning for letting us use your dyno jet. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. But anyways, I want to show you guys some things when it comes to the dyno sheet. Some of you guys don't know what dyno sheet is, so briefly explain it. This axis here is the engine RPM, which goes to 7,000, and this one is, it says power, or this will be in wheel horsepower, pretty much the parasitic drain that comes from losing power, trying to go through the wheels, axles, drive shaft, transmission, etc. Right, so everything here is going to be displayed in wheel horsepower, okay? Now this line is the torque curve, and this one is the horsepower curve, wheel horsepower curve, okay? Cool. Now, with small displacement turbo vehicles, usually from factory, they're going to give you a lot of low-end torque. So take a look. Right around up to about 3,200 RPM, I'm putting out 500 pounds of torque to the wheels. And I hold it all the way to about 4,500 RPM. This makes this car really fun to drive, and it's going to give you quick 0 to 60s times from a dig, especially if it's an all-wheel drive, of course. Right, and this one's the wheel horsepower range. Now it's pretty much it's delivering the power as it should. It's as the RPMs are going up, the turbos are literally spooling. They shoot all the way up to about 450, right? And then right around there is where we have a cross. Now, I have a couple of tuners that are probably going to comment below and people in the community, so I'm waiting for you guys to comment below. But from what I remember reading about whenever these usually cross, it could be for different reasons. One, it could be a high compression motor. Usually when you have a high compression motor, you are more prone to detonation at the higher amount of RPM because the engine's just spinning a lot faster, especially on turbocharged cars. Two, another reason why this could be crossing is because the turbos themselves are not delivering enough CFM. That's pretty much not enough air. For every time the air is being allowed back into the combustion chamber, it's not delivering that much because the turbos are literally just, they ran out of steam themselves. Like there's just not enough air being delivered, CFM. Three, it could be up to the tuners themselves. They usually might have backed down the amount of PSI because they're trying to protect the drive line of the car. Maybe the transmission may not be able to handle that amount of torque at the higher RPM. Maybe they don't want to damage the motor, the rods, the bearings on the motor because the motor's spinning a lot faster, so they don't want to cause any excessive damage. So they believe the drive line just might not be able to take it. And also, it also could be because of fuel. Maybe the fuel doesn't have a high enough octane level to it, so that once again they don't want any pre-detonation. But for whatever reason, this is pretty common in the VR30 community. So we immediately lose we come from about 500 pounds of torque all the way down to red line. Your car was probably going to shift right around somewhere here to right around that 325 territory. That's Jesus. That's almost, what is it, 175 foot-pounds of torque that we're losing to the wheels. It's insane, right? But also look at the wheel horsepower. We peak 450 right around that 5,055, 5,200 RPM, but then we come down around 6,500, right around that a little bit above 400 wheel horsepower. Once again, we're going to be shifting gears somewhere around here, so understand we're not going that deep. But at the end of the day, we're still losing 50 wheel horsepower from 5,200 to almost 65. Why is that? Why is that a bad thing? Because this is what will cause the difference of you winning a race and losing a race, right? So most of these high performance cars such as M3s, M4s, C63s, etc., these really high these really modified cars, these imperial cars, they're designed to hold power more to the excuse me, sorry guys, to the highest RPM and keep the power in. They're designed to be able to take the more of that type of abuse. They're plumbed better. They have better flowing turbos usually in cases, and they just have more of developed engine and or driveline, right? So I can make 450. That looks like great numbers. That to the crank, I'm probably making like 525, 530 horsepower. But from then on, the engine just not producing enough power. And if you're in any road racing situation, your road racing is going to be right around that 4,700 to about 67. Those 2,000 RPM is very crucial. So if I'm coming from 450 to 400, I'm going to lose 50 horsepower every time. This is how you guys might be able to lose. You know, this is what's going to make it kind of hard to like really beat some modded 392 6.4s, 6.4 392s. Be really hard to and/or those A10 Mustangs that are modded and tuned. A lot of them are gonna beat us just on this alone. So in the next video, I'm gonna talk about the different turbo options that you can go with, and I'm just gonna hopefully I can get some pictures of their dyno sheets. But just know that there are ways to make this band a little bit better. You can go with E85 fuel. Check on my channel. E85 fuel on these cars, usually E30, E50, E70 will push you up to that 500 wheel horsepower range. What you'll literally just see this wheel horsepower curve go all the way up to like 500 and hold, and it'll back down a little bit to like 450 or 460. Once again, that means that once again that you're gaining more power. There's more time they can add into it. There's E85 also does give a lot of a cooling effect, but then also again that will come down to maybe that the motors just have high compression, the turbos are still steaming out, stuff like that still really does exist. So we'll talk about it in the next video on the different turbo options that you can go with that can kind of like, I would say it would pretty much get rid of these issues. But anyways, outside of that, guys, this is my dyno sheet. I know you guys want to see it. Hopefully I give you guys some information talking about dyno sheets, a little bit more about the motor, transmission, etc. Just some information that's usually helpful for the people that are new to the platform. So outside of that, guys, we have good morning, good afternoon, good night. Thank you guys, I appreciate it. Thank you Go Racebox for definitely coming through and tuning this Q60. Also, thank you for Chameleon Tuning for working with the channel, and also shout out to Boost Fiend for helping your boy out for us to solidify and to get everything done. Outside of that, guys, you have a good morning, good afternoon, good night. Thank you guys, I appreciate it. You have a good day. Thank you everybody for watching. Do appreciate you guys. Love you guys very much. You can also check out the 2 links I posted for some of my other videos. Also on top of that, if you want to purchase some boostinmotion merch, definitely check the link that I posted also. And finally, if you've been watching all my videos and you enjoy them, please hit the link to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.